But leaving was hard because when you're told, when you're taught, when you're pushed, when you're shown that this is the way and this is how things are done, it's kind of hard, especially when you grew up in a setting. I literally was, let me get myself together. I literally was, if you want to say, a child going into my job. And I grew with people. I grew with the changes of things. I grew from a young adult to a woman in this place. So growing in a place and only knowing a place. Now, mind you, I worked at other places while working there, and I've always been a person that had other things going on. So let's not say that it was everything for me. But I've worked there since I think Riley was turning 2. So that means I was like 22 or 23. And I literally grown from a young girl to a woman. And these people that I've worked with, in the setting that I worked in, it was just more than a job. But also because it was more than a job, it became a lot at times. It became a lot at times. Okay. So, long story short, I was there since a young girl. And as a young girl, you still are trying to figure things out. So I kind of figured me out growing through the job as well. So I literally had so many different phases of my life at this place. And the type of job that I have, you could sleep in there if you wanted to. Like you can literally work. Like it's unlimited work. And then that becomes a problem as well. But not knowing any better, and it's sad because I see a lot of young adults starting their job, and it's a good starter job, don't get me wrong. But because the work is unlimited, you see a bunch of dollar signs. That's all you see. You see dollar signs. And growing up, let's go back to me growing up, I always said before I became a mom, because again, I told you my mom works for the government. So my sole plan was to work here for 2 years, get enough money to start my business, and either go part-time or leave altogether. Now, mind you, I was almost probably year 7, 6.5, 7. So that 2 years, you can plan all you want, but God has different plans. So that 2 years turned into 7, basically. So I literally always said that when I grow up, when I get older, when I have a child, I do not want such a high demand job that I never see my child, that everything just is about work and not a relationship with my child. That's not what I wanted. But as a single mom, I kind of fell into the loophole and the rat hole of, oh, you going to help me? You going to keep my child? Okay, I'm going to work all of these extra hours and I'm going to do all of this extra stuff and I'm going to be good. And at the end of the day, all of that money in the world could not replace the fact that I knew, true to myself, that I never wanted to be that person. And there I was, becoming that person. So that was a no for me. That was a no. So, back to the glasses. So, I literally, the first couple of years, I worked my ass off. Anybody can tell you, if somebody wanted a day off, I would take it. If somebody wanted to do a vacation, I was taking everybody's shift. But you know what I wasn't doing? Being the mom that I told myself I wanted to be. And that was a no for me. So I had to take the money out of it. I had to start to learn myself. I had to get me together and not worry about anybody else. So again, as I said before, learning myself in the process, I realized that you have to find a way to phase this out. So I think around and in my 7-year tenure, I left for a brief moment, and like I said, my job, and for a long time we had good management, so that was a plus. So for a couple of a good while we had good management and we had good things going on, and that allowed me, I left, I went to work for the city, and I liked the freedom of walking around downtown and working in the office and not having to deal with people one-on-one in person because I was just working on the phone. But the people in that office, they didn't serve me. And I was starting to learn me more. So I was learning that if this space didn't serve me, and this set me up for where I am now, because I was learning that if this space didn't serve me, if these people didn't serve me, if the respect wasn't there because I had an opinion, or somebody didn't like what I was doing because I was me, there was no room for me there. So I literally was at their job for like a month or two, and I was calling my job back saying, hey, the grass isn't greener here. Like, what can I do to come back? Granted, management was still good, so I, talked to a couple people. I had good credibility, and I got a reference, and I went back. So nobody ever wants to go back to the place that they left. It's kind of like going back to an ex-boyfriend. Especially, it's like going back to your mom if you told her you didn't need her no more. Or, it was just like, I don't want to go back. But this place was my job that I just left, but my job that I was going back to at that time, it worked for me. It was so big that it was never really troublesome for me until I went there.